Welcome to the present moment. Thank you for your precious attention. This is a message for anyone who feels like it's just all too much. It's all too much. I quit. I've had enough adulting and I'm done. Those are the moments where we feel like we should be further ahead. Those are the moments where we're just over it, feeling the energies of overwhelm, wanting things to be a certain way, wanting to work towards things being different, and then it just feeling too slow and it hasn't happened, and then finding yourself exactly where you found yourself when you had the desire to create change. And so if you've been feeling like it's just all too much, I want to offer you a little NOWism tidbit for the purpose of releasing the stress in the mental atmosphere about your progress or where you should be at or what should be happening. Often when we go to make change, we want to change a habit, we want to grow ourselves. We look at the entire task that needs to happen. I've got to change my patterns. I've got to change old belief patterns. I need to create new language. I need to practice how it feels. I need, to take new actions. I've got to stop eating this or that, and so when you look at all of it, it can feel like very overwhelming. And so then what happens is you Netflix and let's try again tomorrow. And so instead of like allowing the immensity of the task of transformation to freak you out and to hijack your momentum, my little NOWism tidbit is just do a little bit, just to deal with just the present moment. The present moment is such a manageable situation compared to the timeline moving into the future. Like that, all of that stuff and all the things that happen on the timeline. Of course we can't control that. Of course it feels overwhelming. But when we look at just the present moment, literally the very moment that's just in front of us, then suddenly it does become a manageable phenomenon because you're just working with how I'm turning up in this moment. I'm responding to life right now instead of reacting. And it's an art to do it well, but it also takes a lot of self-love to know that if you can just master the present moment, that's enough for now. Instead of this big demand, this big goals, and then feeling like you always let yourself down and constantly feeling this feeling of failure. If you start to look at your life in smaller packets of time, like the present moment, and raise your average vibe, raise the average way that you deal with circumstances and things in the present moment, then you start to feel the reward of saving a moment from unnecessary negativity, which happens, right? We get sort of swept up and taken by a vibe which was probably unnecessary if we just decided in the moment to focus somewhere else, get the energy right, do something that's a bit more manageable so that the energy of overwhelm doesn't hijack everything. It's such a beautiful thing to understand. It brings a lot of freedom. It brings a lot of relief. And it feels rewarding when you catch yourself out and switch a moment of where you could have been triggered about something and instead, nope, you know what, my life is actually relatively great, happy, healthy, whole. My needs are really met. I've got desires, yes, and not needing to get swept up by a negative thing for no reason, especially if it's going to trash my vibe indefinitely for a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, So a little bit, a lot, just do a little bit, a lot. Yeah, it's a bit of a catchphrase in NOWism, but it's loaded with so much wisdom. Our lives are made up of present moments. Is it a thing? Yeah, moments, And so in dealing with, okay, I'm going to work on learning the quality of the present moment instead of trying to get to the bit where it's better. Do you feel me? I'm sure you feel me. I hope this is helpful. Big loves. Just remember you're exceptional. Your consciousness, the way you're using your mind is so rad. You have the capacity to turn everything around in the blink of an eye. And I love knowing that. I think it's such a superhero vibe and you are a superhero. So just don't forget, all right? I'll be here tomorrow to remind you again, all right? Big loves, richest nows.